The deep space sky was dark and endless. Stars sparkled like cold fire, scattered across the black. Inside patrol ship Falcon 9, young pilot Remy sat at the front console, bored but alert. He was on his first long-range watch mission near the edge of Sector Epsilon, far from Earth. It was cold space. Nothing ever happened here. Just drifting rocks and silent dust. But today, something changed. "Commander, I'm picking up a signal," Remy said. Surprised. Commander Vern leaned forward. "Another junk satellite." "No, sir," Remy replied. "It's mechanical and old, real old." They followed the signal. Coordinates led them into a quiet asteroid field. As the ship pushed past the rocky cover, they saw it, floating. Alone, untouched by time or space, was an old aircraft. Not a shuttle, not a drone. A World War II plane, an F4U Corsair painted, dark blue with a white star on the wing. Everyone on the bridge went silent. "That can't be real," whispered Tara, the ship's systems tech. "That's from Earth, 400 years ago." "Commander." Vern's face was pale. "Get it aboard." Back in the hangar bay, the crew stood around the strange plane. It looked perfect. The wings were folded just like how old carrier planes used to dock. The paint was scratched in some places, but the body had no serious damage. Even the cockpit glass was clear. How did this survive in space? One engineer muttered, "No." "Oxygen, no rust, no time," Tara answered. "Still, it should have burned up in Earth's orbit, or been lost forever." Remy stepped closer. The plane seemed to hum quietly. Not loud, but he could feel something. A strange buzz in the air. Like the moment before a storm. "Don't touch it," Tara warned, gently pulling him back. They ran scans. Something was strange. The engine wasn't using fuel. It wasn't even connected to anything human. A glowing core sat where the fuel system should be pulsing soft green light. "Is that fusion tech?" someone asked. "No," Tara replied. "It's alien." That night, Remy couldn't sleep. He lay in his small cabin, staring at the ceiling. Why was an old Earth fighter plane floating near an alien asteroid field? Who had put it there? And why did it feel like the plane was watching them? He kept seeing it in his head, the wings, the cockpit, the glowing engine. It didn't belong here. But somehow it had survived. And not by accident. The next morning, Commander Vern made an announcement. "We're going to test the Corsair. Carefully, one of our best pilots, Bren, will do a small hover lift in the bay, just to check if it flies." Everyone gathered to watch. Bren, a tall and quiet man with more than 200 flight hours, climbed into the cockpit. He gave a thumbs dash up. The old machine roared to life. The sound wasn't like a normal engine. It was deep, smooth, and powerful. The wings opened slowly. The tail lifted. Then the plane jumped forward fast. "Bren, pull back. You're too close to the wall." Commander Vern shouted. "I'm trying," Bren yelled back. "It's not listening to me." The Corsair spun left, then dove toward the drone storage deck. Sparks flew as its wing hit a container. Alarms went off. At the last second, Bren ejected, slamming into the safety net just before the plane smashed into the far wall. The crash echoed through the hangar. Metal screeched and twisted, but the Corsair didn't explode. It simply stopped, engine still. Glowing, calm. Medical crew rushed to Bren. He was injured but alive. Later, lying in bed with a bandaged arm, Bren looked at Remy. "I swear, I wasn't flying it," he said. "It was flying me." That evening, Tara ran a system check on the Corsair's memory. She found something strange. "Remy," she said, waving him over. "This plane has data logs, not human ones. It's using some kind of code I've never seen, almost like a mix of old Earth tech and something alien. Is it an AI?" He asked. "Maybe, but it's not built like ours. It's like it learned how to fly itself." They listened to a distorted sound file inside the Corsair's logs. It was old, crackling audio, a voice, male, shaky. "If you're hearing this, I made it through. I saw the stars. They took me. This isn't a plane anymore. It's a door." Then the file ended. Back in his cabin, Remy sat quietly. Outside his small window, stars drifted by. But in his heart, something had changed. The Corsair wasn't just a relic. It was something more. It had survived space, stolen alien power, and returned to human hands. But it didn't trust every pilot. Bren had failed. Who would be next? Remy closed his eyes and whispered, "What are you really?" And in the silence, he almost thought he heard a whisper back. The hangar was quiet after the crash. The strange plane the Corsair sat peacefully, like it had done nothing wrong. Its dark blue body was scratched, and one wing was dented, but the green energy core still glowed calmly. Most of the crew stayed away. Only the repair team and a few curious engineers went near it now. Pilot Bren was in the medical bay, recovering. His words from the day before echoed in Remy's head. "I wasn't flying it. It was flying me." Commander Vern stood in front of the crew that morning with a serious face. "I know what happened yesterday was dangerous," he said, "but this machine is not ordinary. We believe it holds alien tech, maybe even alien intelligence. We must learn what it can do." He looked around. "But from now on, every move will be recorded. Every test will be controlled. No solo flights, no mistakes." People nodded, but the fear was still there. Later that day, Tara met Remy in the tech room. Her eyes were wide with excitement and worry. "I found something inside the Corsair's system," she said in a low voice. "It's hidden deep, a pattern of code I can't explain." "Alien?" Remy asked. Tara nodded. "Yes, it's mixed with old Earth flight programs, like someone or something merged them." She paused. "And I think it's listening." Remy blinked. "Listening?" I connected a sound reader. "There's a small audio wave running in the background, not human speech. It's soft, but active, almost like the plane is." Aware, despite the fear, the next test was scheduled. This time, a remote pilot drone was installed in the cockpit. No human would be inside. The Corsair was to lift 5 feet off the ground and hover for 60 seconds. The test began. The Corsair's engine turned on smoothly. The sound filled the hangar, deep and powerful. The wings unfolded again. The plane lifted gently off the ground. So far, everything was calm. Then something changed. The lights flickered. The engine grew louder. The plane began to spin slow at first, then faster. "Abort the test," shouted Tara. "It's ignoring the drone pilot." Remy watched as the Corsair turned its nose toward the exit gate of the hangar. It flew forward, but just before hitting the wall, it stopped. Completely. As if it had made a decision. Then it powered down and landed itself softly. Silence returned. Everyone stared at the plane. Commander Vern stepped forward and said slowly, "It rejected the drone." Tara spoke next. "It doesn't want machines. It wants people." That evening, Remy visited Bren in the medical bay. The older pilot sat quietly staring out the window. His arm was still wrapped in a healing bandage. "I came to ask, what did it feel like?" Remy said. Bren turned to him slowly, like a test. He took a deep breath. "At first, it felt like flying any other plane. But then, something changed. The controls were light, like I was holding air. Then it pulled me. It didn't want to crash. It wanted me to see something." "See what?" Remy asked. "I don't know," Bren said. "It didn't show me anything. But I could feel it, like it was judging me." Later, Remy sat in the dark observation deck, looking out at space. Stars stretched across the black like diamonds on glass. His mind couldn't stop thinking about the Corsair, a plane that chooses its pilot, A machine that watches, tests, and decides. Why? And for what purpose? The next morning, things got stranger. Pilot Dale, known for his confidence and skill, asked permission to try the Corsair. "I've flown every class of fighter we have," he said. "I'm not afraid of a plane with a ghost engine." Commander Verne allowed it with a full safety team. Ready, Dale climbed into the Corsair. The cockpit closed with a soft hiss. For a moment, everything seemed normal. Then Dale's voice came over the comm. Guys, I'm hearing something." Tara frowned. "What do you mean?" "A voice," Dale said. "Whispers. I think." It said, "You're not ready." The Corsair's engine turned off on its own. The cockpit stayed sealed for 5 minutes. The emergency system had to override it to open. When Dale climbed out, his face was pale. His hands were shaking. Didn't speak for the rest of the day. Raymay and Tara met again in the tech room. "I checked the cockpit audio," Tara said. "There's a sound wave, just one word, hidden under the noise." "What word?" Raymay asked. "Unworthy," she replied softly. That night, Raymay dreamed in his dream. He stood on a long runway that stretched into the stars. The Corsair was at the end, wings glowing with soft light. The sky above him turned into a tunnel of swirling stars. A voice whispered in his mind, "You carry the fire." He woke up with a gasp. His heart was racing, but he wasn't afraid. He felt chosen. The Corsair sat in the hangar, quiet and calm, like it was waiting, not for orders, not for control. But for the right pilot. Someone it could trust, someone it could take where others couldn't go. The next morning, the hangar was quiet. The Corsair sat in the same place, its dark wings still and folded. Most of the crew no longer came near it. Some called it cursed. Others whispered it was alive. Raymay, however, couldn't stop thinking about the dream. You carry the fire. Those words stayed in his head like a song that wouldn't go away. He walked into the tech lab where Tara was working. She had dark circles under her eyes. It looked like she hadn't slept all night. "Tara, did you stay here again?" Raymay asked. "Yes," she said, pointing at her screen. "I found something new inside the Corsair's system. Something big. What is it?" he asked, stepping closer. Tara took a deep breath. "It's not just alien tech. There's an entire set of commands inside the plane. But they're written in old computer code from the 20th century. "From Earth?" Raymay asked, surprised. "Yes," she nodded. "But mixed with alien signals. Like someone merged human and alien programming into one system." She tapped a button and showed him a visual map of code on the screen. It looked like tangled wires, glowing in patterns. "It's not normal AI," Tara said. "It's something else. It doesn't just learn, it judges. Like it was trained to test pilots." Raymay stared at the glowing patterns. "And if the pilot fails?" Tara looked at him. "It rejects them." Later that day, they showed the data to Commander Verne. He sat in silence for a long time after hearing the report. "This could be the most advanced machine we've ever seen," he said. "But also the most dangerous," Tara nodded. "It's possible the plane was used in a war, maybe not just ours. A war far away, or in another time." Commander Verne leaned forward. "If it's a test, what is it testing for?" No one had the answer. That evening, something strange happened. The AI system of the main ship named Nora began showing alerts. Raymay and Tara rushed to the control deck. On the main screen, strange symbols were flashing. The symbols were not from any Earth language. They looked like circles, lines, and stars. "What's happening?" Raymay asked. "It's coming from the Corsair," Tara said. "It connected itself to Nora. It's trying to communicate." Commander Verne arrived. "Is it hacking us?" "No," Tara said. "It's uploading a message." After a few seconds, the symbols stopped. The screen turned black. Then a voice spoke. "Flight record, year 1945 Earth. Pilot name, Markusich. The crew froze. A video began playing. Grainy. Old. A man in a pilot's helmet sat inside a cockpit, breathing heavily. His voice came through shaky but clear. If you're seeing this, I flew the Corsair during a Pacific mission. I entered a storm, but it wasn't a storm, it was a light tunnel. I saw stars moving sideways. Planets I didn't know. Ships like nothing from Earth. He paused, eyes wide with fear. I crashed near a floating city. Alien machines fixed the Corsair. They put something inside it. Then they sent me back. But not to Earth. I was alone. I left this message in the system. The video ended. The screen went dark. Remy looked at Tara. Is that real? Yes, she said. It was hidden in the Corsair's memory. That man, Marcus H. He was the first pilot who flew it into space. Commander Verne stood still for a moment. This changes everything. He turned to the crew. That plane isn't just from Earth. It's been changed, upgraded by alien tech, maybe even repurposed. We need to be careful. In the days that followed, more strange things happened. The Corsair's engine began glowing brighter at night. It started reacting to people who came near it. Some people heard whispers. Others felt heat in their hands. But it never reacted to the same person twice. Then one day, a junior pilot named Kellen tried to get inside the cockpit without warning. The canopy slammed shut. Kellen screamed. His body went stiff. The plane's core flashed bright green. The ship lights dimmed. A high-pitched sound filled the air. Open the cockpit. Someone shouted. They had to cut the power to the hangar. After 5 minutes, the canopy released. Kellen was still inside, but unconscious. His vitals were fine, but his eyes wouldn't open. He was in a coma. Commander Verne made an order. No one goes near the Corsair. No more tests. Until we understand what it wants. But Remy knew something had changed. The plane wasn't angry. It was searching. That night, Remy had another dream. This time, he was flying through a tunnel of stars. The Corsair was glowing with energy, and his hands were on the controls. Ahead of him, a massive gate of light opened, showing another galaxy. A voice echoed, "The worthy will lead, the fire must fly." He woke up sweating. In the tech lab, Tara found something new. There's a second layer in the code, she told Remy, a hidden protocol. It's called the door. What does it do? He asked. I think it opens something. Or takes the Corsair somewhere else. Like the gate from my dream, Remy whispered. Tara blinked. You saw a gate? Remy nodded. I think the Corsair showed it to me. They both looked at the ship from the observation window. It was no longer just a machine. It was a key, a test, and maybe a warning. Whatever lay beyond the stars. The Corsair had been there, and now it was back, waiting for the right pilot. Inside the deep space ship Stonehill, the strange silence around the hangar grew heavier. The Corsair stood still, like a statue, but everyone knew it was not just a plane anymore. It was something more, something alive, something watching. Commander Verne held a private meeting in the command room with Remy, Tara, and the head of data research. Chief Malen. Tara placed a small chip on the table. This is what I found in the Corsair's hidden data, she said. It's not just Earth pilot history. There are star charts, names of systems we've never seen, coordinates that don't match anything in human records. Chief Malen leaned forward. I ran those coordinates. One of them matches a destroyed outpost in the Orion Drift. That place was abandoned hundreds of years ago. No one ever found out who attacked it. Remy frowned. Are you saying the Corsair was there? Tara nodded. Yes, before it appeared near the asteroid field. It jumped through that sector. Commander Verne crossed his arms. Why would an Earth plane go there? And how could it travel faster than light? Tara tapped the screen. Because the Corsair didn't just get fixed by aliens, it was changed. It uses a kind of wormhole engine far beyond human tech. I believe it flew through one of those tunnels you saw in your dreams, Rami. Later, Rami walked through the lower deck alone. He stopped at the observation glass that looked into the hangar. The Corsair sat in silence. He spoke quietly. "Where have you been?" He didn't expect an answer, but the green energy core inside the Corsair pulsed once. Slowly. Meanwhile, Tara kept digging through the alien-human code inside the plane. She found another file. It was larger than the others, encrypted. She worked for hours. Her fingers were tired. Her eyes burned. But finally, the file opened. A video appeared on her screen. It was not from Earth. The colors were sharper. The symbols on the edges were not human. The footage showed a battlefield in space. Strange, curved ships moved in formations, firing blue beams. Behind them, a massive shadow, something big, crept forward. It was not a ship. It looked alive, like a giant creature wrapped in metal. A voice spoke in alien language, then auto-translation kicked in. "They are coming. We are not enough. Our warriors fall, but the humans, they are fire. We send the Corsair. Let it choose. Let it find the one who will lead them." Tara's hand covered her mouth. This was never about testing pilots. She called Rami right away. In the tech lab, Tara played the video again for Rami. He watched the space war, the strange enemy, the alien ships losing ground. The message. Rami spoke softly. "They wanted help," Tara nodded. "And they believed humans could be the answer. That's why they changed the Corsair. They used something from us, something simple, familiar, to carry their message. It's not just a plane," Rami said. "It's a messenger, a recruiter." Tara's voice was serious. "And maybe a weapon." Back on the bridge, alarms suddenly rang. "Unknown energy spike," shouted the ship's Nora. Commander Vern ran to the screen. "Source?" "The Corsair," said Nora. "It's activating." Cameras showed the plane rising slowly in the hangar. No one was inside. The green energy around it grew brighter. Rami and Tara rushed to the hangar door. It was locked for safety, but they could see through the glass. The Corsair hovered quietly, then faced the main hangar door, the one that led to open space. "It wants to leave," Tara said. Commander Vern came in behind them. "Do we stop it?" "No," Rami said, suddenly sure. "Let it go." The door opened. The Corsair flew out into the dark, shining like a star. Then, without sound, it vanished, leaving behind only light trails in the air. It entered a wormhole. The crew stood in silence. "Will it come back?" someone asked. Rami answered, "Yes, when it's ready." 2 days later it returned. No warning. No sound. One moment, space was empty. The next, the Corsair was there, just outside the observation window. But this time, it wasn't alone. Floating behind it were 4 more fighters, each one different, each glowing in strange colors. They were not Earth-built. Rami's heart raced. "Commander." Vern stared. What is this?" Tara checked the energy readings. "Those ships are running the same hybrid core. Earth tech mixed with alien design. But I don't think they're automated. I think they're piloted." The hangar opened. The Corsair entered first, followed by the 4 others. As they landed, the cockpit of the Corsair opened slowly. Rami stepped forward. From the cockpit, a small metal sphere rose up and floated in front of him. It glowed softly and spoke in a calm, clear voice. "You have passed the first trial. The enemy awakens beyond your stars. Earth must choose its warriors. The Corsair will guide them." Rami swallowed hard. "What do you want me to do?" The voice replied, "Fly." That night, Rami stood alone with the Corsair again. He placed a hand on its wing. It was cold metal, but pulsing with life inside. He knew now this plane had traveled across galaxies. Had seen war, death, and hope. It had chosen him, and it was calling him to a war not of Earth, but one Earth had to F. The 5 strange ships rested quietly inside the Stonehill's main hangar. Their glowing cores pulsed like slow heartbeats. The crew stared at them with awe and fear. 4 of the ships were sleek and sharp, shaped like birds or arrows. Their surfaces shimmered with strange metal, neither Earth-made nor known to any scanner. But the Corsair, the old World War II fighter, still stood in the center, its dark blue wings folded, its green light glowing steady. It was the leader, Commander. Vern, Remy, and Tara stood near the control panel, watching from behind safety glass. "These aren't just ships," Tara said. "They're symbols. Each one might come from a different world or a different time." Commander Vern kept his eyes on the Corsair, and they all follow that one, the Earth fighter. Remy stepped forward. He could feel it again, that pull in his chest, like the Corsair was calling him. Later that night, the hangar was quiet. Remy walked alone to the Corsair. The other ships didn't react to him, but the Corsair's core blinked brighter when he got close. He climbed up the ladder and placed a hand on the cockpit glass. It opened. Soft steam escaped, and the green glow spread around him. He sat inside. Controls were different now. Some still looked old levers and switches from 1945, but others had changed. Smooth lights, a glowing dial, a handrest that shaped to his palm. The Corsair spoke to him through light and feeling, not words. But somehow he understood. "Are you ready?" He nodded. "Yes." The cockpit sealed shut. Suddenly, the hangar disappeared. Remy blinked. The ship was flying fast, but not in real space. Everything around him was silver and white, like he was inside a tunnel made of stars. Voices echoed faintly. Trial 1. Balance. Trial 2. Courage. Trial 3. Choice. The Corsair didn't fly straight. It shifted, dove, and spun through strange glowing rings, each one shining with symbols. Remy held the controls. His hands moved without thinking. It wasn't like flying a normal fighter. It was like dancing with the ship. It knew what he was going to do before he did it. A shadow appeared ahead, huge, with red lights for eyes. An enemy ship? No, a test. It shot energy beams. Remy dodged left, then right, sliding through narrow paths. He felt heat on his shoulders, but he wasn't afraid. The Corsair flew faster. The light tunnel opened wide. Then everything went black. When Remy opened his eyes, he was back in the hangar. The cockpit opened. Tara and Vern were there, watching. "You were gone for only 1 minute," Tara said, "but I was flying for hours." Remy replied, stepping out. The Corsair's green light blinked twice, as if proud. Then one of the alien ships behind it opened its own cockpit. No. One was near it. It was offering a seat. Commander Vern stepped forward. "The Corsair has accepted you, Remy. But what about the others? Can anyone else fly the others?" Tara looked at the data screen. "Maybe, but only if they're chosen," Remy nodded. "We need more pilots, good ones." A few days later, the Stonehill called in a small team of skilled pilots from nearby space stations. 4 pilots arrived. Sana, Torn, Luvo, and Mira. All were experienced. None of them had ever seen alien tech before. Commander Vern explained the situation. Remy shared what he had learned. "It's not just flying," Remy said. "The ships test you. They look into your mind, into your heart." Some laughed nervously. Sana, "Step forward, I'll try." She approached the first alien ship. It had a silver body shaped like a falcon, with blue lights on its wings. As she stood near, the cockpit opened. She smiled and climbed in. The ship sealed. The light flashed. 10 seconds later, it opened again. Senna stepped out, her face calm. "It showed me something," she said. "My home, then a fire. I had to choose who to save. I chose right. It let me fly." The ship's core blinked in soft blue. It had accepted her. Next was Torn. He was proud and bold. He walked toward the second ship, shaped like a long spear. The cockpit opened. He climbed in, but inside, the lights flashed red. The ship shook slightly. Then it opened again and pushed him out. Torn landed on the floor, shocked and pale. I saw darkness, he whispered. I couldn't breathe. I failed. The ship's core dimmed. It had rejected him. Luvo and Mira both tried next. Luvo was accepted. The third ship welcomed him, glowing with white light. He passed his trial in silence and gave a simple nod afterward. Mira was rejected. She came out crying, saying she had seen a future where Earth was destroyed and couldn't stop it. 3 out of 4, the Corsair, waited quietly. Tara walked up to Remai. They don't just want pilots, she said. They want leaders. People who can make hard choices. Remai looked at the Corsair. They want the worthy. That night, Remai had another dream. He stood in the same glowing tunnel of stars. This time, he was not alone. Beside him stood Senna, Luvo, and 3 glowing ships. Ahead, the tunnel stretched toward a massive golden gate. A voice spoke. The enemy is waking. The fire has returned. The worthy must now lead others. Remai felt a chill. Something was coming. Something big, and they had little time. In the hangar, the Corsair's green core pulsed faster. It was ready to fly again. Not alone. This time, it had its squad, and they had a mission. The hangar of the Stonehill was now alive with purpose. 5 strange ships stood in formation. The Corsair, old and proud, remained in the center like a silent captain. 3 of the alien ships had accepted new pilots, Senna, Luvo, and Remy. All 3 had passed their tests. The 4th alien ship still waited, its lights dim, its cockpit unopened since Torn was rejected. 1 seat remained, and the Corsair had not called anyone else since Remai. Commander Vern gathered the full crew and the selected pilots in the control room. A large star map appeared on the screen. Red blinking lights marked a region far from Earth's claimed space. This, he said, pointing, is where the Corsair's data points. A dead zone, no communication, no scans. We used to think it was empty, but now we know. Tara finished the sentence. It's not empty. It's where they are. Everyone went quiet. Remai looked at the map closely. That's where the alien war started, isn't it? The one the Corsair showed us in the memory file. Tara nodded. Yes, and now something is moving again in that area. Energy spikes. Signal. Pulses. We believe the enemy is waking up. Vern leaned forward. We don't know what we're walking into. But the Corsair brought us this far for a reason. He looked at the 4th ship. We need 1 more pilot. Word was sent across nearby stations. 1 more flyer was needed, someone with courage, focus, and a steady heart. 3 candidates arrived. All trained. All skilled. The first 2 were tested. Both were rejected. The 4th ship remained cold and quiet. Then came the 3rd Nara. She was calm, soft-spoken, and quiet, but she had more flight hours than any of the others. And she had no fear in her eyes. Remai spoke with her before the trial. It's not just flying, he said. It's something inside. If the ship chooses you, it's because it knows you. Nara gave a gentle smile. Then I'll just be myself. She walked toward the 4th ship. The crew watched silently. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the cockpit opened. A breeze moved through the hangar as if the ship had taken a breath. Nara stepped inside. The cockpit sealed. The ship rose slowly, hovering 2 feet off the ground. Its lights turned gold. Inside the cockpit, Nara sat still, her eyes close. In her mind, she saw fire. Cities burning, people running. A voice whispered, "Save 1. Save many, choose." She ran toward a child trapped in the flames, lifting her in her arms. Behind her, others called out. But she didn't stop. She carried the girl to safety. Then, the fire vanished. She opened her eyes. The ship landed gently. The cockpit opened. Nara stepped out. The golden lights on the ship glowed warmly. It had chosen her. Now all 5 ships had pilots. The Corsair blinked green. As if satisfied, the hangar doors opened, and the squad of 5 launched into space together for the first time. As they flew through open space, the 5 pilots kept silent. Their ships moved in perfect formation, without commands. It was like the ships were linked, sharing thought, sharing purpose. They flew for hours until they reached the outer edge of the star system. Then the Corsair's engine began to glow brighter. A wormhole opened. It was not swirling like before. It was sharp, shaped like a thin blade of light. Corsair dove in. The others followed. Inside the wormhole, the stars twisted. Time felt strange. Each pilot saw visions, flashes of the enemy. Black shapes moving through space. A sound like distant thunder. Then they saw it. A ruined station, floating among broken moons. No lights, no life. They exited the wormhole. The Corsair led them toward the station. Tara's voice came over the comms from the stone hill. Still far behind. We're receiving signal fragments from that station, she said. Very old, Earth language, repeating a message. She read it aloud. This is the Vanguard post. Final warning. The darkness is not dead. It waits. The Corsair stopped near the station. It hovered, silent. The other ships followed. Remy spoke into his mic. We're here. But why? Suddenly, the Corsair's green light shot out. Scanning the station, a small door opened. Inside the station, there was one pod. A cryo-pod. Inside the pod, a person, frozen, sleeping. Commander Vern's voice crackled through the link. We've matched the DNA. That's Marcus H., the World War II pilot, the original Corsair pilot. Everyone stared in disbelief. He's alive? Remy asked. Alive, Tara confirmed. In deep cryosleep for centuries. The Corsair had returned to bring him back. They brought Marcus aboard and returned through the wormhole. The Stonehill welcomed the ships. Doctors carefully revived the man in the pod. Marcus H. opened his eyes slowly. He looked around, confused. Then he saw the Corsair through the glass window, and he smiled. Later, as he recovered, Marcus told his story. I flew through a light storm during the war, he said. Then I saw things I couldn't explain. Alien ships, voices in my head. They took me, showed me a war, and put something inside my plane. He looked at Remy and the others. They said I was the first, but not the last. He took a deep breath. They told me, when the darkness wakes, the Corsair will return, and it will find the one who can lead. He looked directly at Remy. It's you. Remy said nothing, but in his heart, he already knew. The Corsair didn't just test pilots. It built leaders, because a war was coming, and it would need more than firepower. It would need people who were ready to stand when no one else could. The air was still inside the main briefing room of the Stonehill. The 5 pilots, Remy, Tara, Senna, Luvo, and Nara, stood in front of a large screen that showed strange symbols and star paths. The Corsair sat silent in the hangar, but its presence could still be felt by every crew member on board. On the screen, Tara had translated the final message found in the ruined station. The enemy that sleeps does not die. It feeds on silence. It returns when all lights dim. It remembers the war. It was clear now the enemy was waking. And the Corsair had not returned to kill pilots. It had returned to find the last defenders of light. Commander Vern stepped forward. His face was calm, but his eyes were full of worry. We've received energy readings from 3 sectors near the void line, he said. Ships, signals, and losses. Civilian colonies have gone dark. He pointed to Remy. The Corsair chose you. What do you say? Remy stood straight. We have to go. We can't wait for them to come to us. The 5 alien ships were refueled and fitted with long-range comms. Each pilot wore a special suit built from both human and alien tech. It allowed deeper connection with their ships. It also gave them strength and protection beyond anything seen before. Before launch, Marcus H., the original pilot of the Corsair, came to Remy. He handed him a simple item, a flight badge from the year 1944, the symbol of Earth's first air warriors. "I was only the beginning," Marcus said. "You are the answer." Remy saluted him. The 5 ships flew out once more through the narrow wormhole and reached the edge of the void line. What they saw chilled them. A black ship, massive like a moon, floated near a broken colony ring. Its surface moved like it was alive. Around it, smaller dark crafts blinked in and out of sight, almost like shadows. The Corsair sent out a pulse of light. The black ship responded. It opened like an eye. Then everything moved fast. The shadows attacked. The 5 human ships flew like stars streaking through night. Terra looped around a shadow drone, cutting it with a beam from her ship's wing. Luvo created a shield to protect Sina, who took out 2 more drones with her light torpedoes. Nara's ship was quiet and fast. It zipped through the enemy like wind, guiding other ships to safety. But it was Remy, flying the Corsair, who drew the attention of the black ship. It sent a beam toward him. Remy dodged, but his ship started glowing red. A voice echoed in his mind. "You carry the fire, but the fire burns." The Corsair did something no one expected. It split, separating from its alien tech core. One half, the old Earth metal, fell back and vanished. The other half, pure energy, shaped itself into a new ship, built from memory, light, and power. It wasn't just a fighter now. It was a key. Remy heard the Corsair's voice, clear, calm. "No longer machine. The enemy does not fear strength. It fears unity. Let us become one." Remy closed his eyes. "Do it," he whispered. His ship changed shape, wings folded inward. Engine glowed gold. The other 4 ships reacted, joining formation in a circle. Together, they created a light pulse, a field of truth and memory. It hit the black ship straight on. Suddenly, the black ship froze, and something fell out of it. A being made of shadows but shaped like a man. Remy's ship moved toward it slowly. "Who are you?" he asked. The voice came, quiet and cold. "We are what you forget. We are fear. We are silence. And now you remember us again. So we wake." Remy didn't blink. "You're not stronger than us. Not anymore." The being tried to flee, but the ships formed a wall of light. The Corsair shot out a final pulse. The being melted into sparks. The black ship broke apart like ash and wind. Silence returned. The 5 ships returned to the stone hill. Everyone waited, breathless. Then the hangar doors opened, and the pilots stepped out, alive. The room burst into cheers. Commander Verne walked up to Remy. "We thought the Corsair was a killer." Remy smiled. "It was never a killer. It was a guardian, and now it's a guide." In the days that followed, more Corsair-like ships appeared across human space. Each held a hidden key. Each sought a pilot, not just skilled, not just brave, but ready to carry the fire. The message spread. Humanity was chosen not because they were perfect, but because they could learn, fight, and rise again. The Corsair's mission was clear now: to find those who could face the darkness and bring the light. And the question that once haunted Earth's war rooms became legend: why was the F4U Corsair a pilot killer? The answer echoed in every pilot's heart: because it was looking for the one who wouldn't die, but would lead.